All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stop Questioning Everything, the official Drug Receipts podcast. Drug Receipts is the brand bringing Web3 to streetwear and streetwear to Web3 in the form of digital and physical wearables, all featuring signature DR experience augmented reality. Drug Receipts is your trusted source for mind-altering content. We are promoting the pillars of art and subversion, science and skepticism, and community and sport. I am your host, Arlo Eisenberg. I'm the founder and artist behind Drug Receipts. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 in America. In New Zealand, it's Thursday, August 15th. This is episode number 36, and we have a very special episode in store for you. We are celebrating this momentous occasion. It is the launch of the long-awaited and groundbreaking digital and physical merch drop for FutureVerse, all powered by the DRX Supply Company. We're joined by the captain himself, a very special guest. We've got FutureVerse CEO Aaron McDonald in the house. We will be giving away a special DRX digital wearable at some point during this broadcast. You must be in the YouTube chat in order to be eligible, and you must be present at the time of the drawing in order to win. So you'll want to stick around for that. We're going to show you all of the merch designs while we are doing this podcast. We're going to do a deep dive into the technology that's powering this release. We're going to take a look at the Party Bear Swappables experience. We're going to talk about the bonus digital wearable that you can claim when you mint your FutureVerse merch drop, and we're going to possibly drop some additional alpha. You never know what you'll learn when the captain is in the house. If you are streaming this podcast, if you're listening to it, we do recommend that you watch the video if you get the chance, because as much as we try to paint a picture in your mind, we will be descriptive, we will tell a story, but we are going to share a lot of images and some videos. And it's always the best experience when you can see that and watch it along with us. So join us on the YouTube channel. And you can always join the conversation in our Discord, the Drug Receipts Discord. That's discord.gg/drug receipts. It always adds a whole new element, a different dimension to the conversation. Let's go ahead and bring in Trevor and get this show started.
Oh, welcome. Hello. Arlo, you did a great job of getting the show started. So you've already done that. But here it is. We're here. We made it.
Here it is. Here we are. And I should warn you all, or not warn you, but alert you all that we are minting now. But Trevor is pulling double duty today. He is actually going to try and produce while he hosts. And so if anyone is capable, it's Trevor. He is a man of many talents, but we are really putting that to the test this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I wore my shirt in preparation, so this will make me bulletproof. You guys can throw it at me as hard as you want, and I'm just going to drink it up. So here's to it. Let's have a great show, and here's to a great day for FutureVerse, for Drug Receipts, and for Web3. It's really special. It's been such a fun and exciting roller coaster ride getting us here. We've had Greg has been here right along for the ride from day one, and it wouldn't be a DRX, experience without Greg along for the ride. So, we might get into talk about some of the things, some of the curveballs that were thrown at us that the team had to overcome as we get into the podcast. But it's been, nothing that is worth doing is ever easy, and this definitely falls into that basket.
That's the truth. We're definitely going to try and drag our way through this. And, it's been such a long time coming, but you start with people, waiting for fluff merch, now waiting for the FutureVerse merch. I mean, finally, we're getting some physical merch out there. But in all of that time while we've been waiting for it, there are a whole lot of other things now that are also becoming like, that we've been anticipating and waiting for. Now we get to, use Root, right, to buy merch. We get to show off how we've implemented this merch process into Shopify, how we're integrating Root with Shopify, and the mint process with Shopify. I mean, there's just so many things. Oh, and the now that you can actually put these digital wearables onto your avatars. I mean, all these things that we maybe didn't even know we were waiting for when we first were clamoring for fluff merch. And now, we're delivering so much more than just merch.
And maybe that's the reason Greg was along for the ride. You know, some of the major derailments, maybe it was just a case of getting things right. You know, the captain always says timing is everything, and this seems to have fallen together just right at the right time, so that we can take advantage of some of the cool new bits of tech that have been rolled out that is perfect for us. Yeah, very cool.
So in the spirit of not making people wait any more longer than they have to, let's go ahead and get into it.
I get the view of Backstage, right? Because, hey, I'm producing, you know, why not? And I can see Aaron's backstage doing shots of tequila. So we better bring him up before he has too many, and then the alpha just starts falling out, right? And then we have to backpedal. So without further ado, and there will be very little fanfare because I don't know how to do that, but I've got this. You ready? Here we go. The big welcome. Please work. Go.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Sneak peek.
And we're on.
Hey! Wow, production. Excellent.
I was doing tequila shots.
We wouldn't have it any other way. Welcome, Aaron. So we didn't actually give you an introduction. I don't think that in a forum like this you need one, but it goes without saying, Aaron is the founder and CEO of FutureVerse. So really the reason we are all here and kind of the guiding voice behind all of this. So welcome. It's a big honor to have you on, Aaron, and we're really excited to share this with everyone that's showed up to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, me excited too. And I think I jumped on probably 20 minutes before this and went and minted the merch. So I have now some digital merch and then pending some physical merch. Looking really forward to getting that on. Like you said earlier, I think having waited till now to get this stuff out there means that we can show how it all pulls together. That mint process was like super slick and one of the better experiences I've seen out there in terms of the purchase journey and how kind of nice the checkout process was and seamless the buy process was. So really, really good job on getting there in the end. And like you said, now able to connect with the swappables technology. We'll be, working on upgrading that to wearables once we launch wearables. We've done some previews of that, so it can go from, party bears into other characters, getting people rocking them in the ReadyVerse as that starts to come out and people can go and kind of cruise around with their avatars. So right at the right moment, I think.
Yeah, and what a way to kick it off, right? With the long-awaited FutureVerse merch. So first products into that engine are FutureVerse stuff. So really cool. It was a real, almost like carrying a bit of a torch, the Olympic torch in a way, to make sure that we did a good job, and we tried to make sure that we worked with not only the FutureVerse team and Shara and her team to make sure that everything was on brand and suited, all of the outward facing kind of branding of FutureVerse, but also with the community. So, most people probably don't realize, but way back when all of this started, we had a community kind of think tank where we got key members of the FutureVerse community together and talked about what sorts of things they wanted to see.
Sitting on a bench together somewhere.
They're all still sitting on that bench. And now they're able to let people who are wandering by, all those other avatars that are walking by that bench are able to see that it's a FutureVerse bench. That was one of the things that we wish we had of another week. We could have prepared something for that, a little.
I know, would have been classic. Hey, you don't know when a meme's going to become a meme, so it's impossible to forecast. And I'm glad that the bench meme exists because it's such a fun one. There's going to be some fun stuff I think come out of that. Community is already having fun with it. Mm-hmm. It was really funny to see the responses actually, because just a little bit of a work, like behind the scenes look in what the designers are doing turns into this meme. You just could never predict that.
Yeah, and the things that you work really hard and diligently from a marketing point of view to try and think, right, this is definitely going to go viral. The community is going to love this, and it gets 5 likes. And
no, totally. That's not how memes work.
Damn it, we spent weeks on that, and that thing was thrown out like last minute. And yeah, that's the thing everybody latches onto. So yeah, don't think too hard. Maybe is the is the right there. Cool. So yeah, it's super exciting to have all of this happening. Our Discord's been blowing up. It's great to see already people are dressing bears, posing bears. They're hitting social media with them. My feed just looks like a overwhelming, representation of Futureverse. So the community's really rallying behind the fact that they can play with digital wearables finally, which is really great to see. And from our point of view, I mean, that's where we started, right? That was day one for me at Drug Receipts, is you're going to make digital fashion. And here we are nearly 3 years later, finally making digital fashion that works. And that's a super proud moment for us.
Yeah, I mean, the quality is amazing. The designs look amazing. You guys have kind of knocked it out of the park on both fronts. And shout out to Shara for helping with the design process on the Futureverse stuff. Her little bit of creative genius is always very appreciated.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we should go ahead and we can talk about that a little bit more, because this is a Futureverse drop, right? It's not a Drug Receipts drop. We collaborated with your team and Shara in particular to get this line out, but much of the designs came from Shara and her team. We provided the merch. We have great suppliers and manufacturers that we work with, and it will all be top quality. And of course, we've also have a team of digital designers that we work with to really knock this out of the park. But the actual designs, the graphics themselves, they started a lot largely with Shara and her team. So there's no question she's played a big role in this.
Yeah, very collaborative. And I think throughout this process, like, we've always wanted for merch to be something that a specialist team does. It's a thing in its own right. You've got to understand the production pipelines and quality of the fabrics and textures and all of that kind of stuff that is not part of being a tech company, which is what we are. And then you're kind of blending the two together, specialist expertise and how to create great apparel with how do we kind of zhuzh that up with some techy sex appeal.
Yeah, well, we like to blur the lines, right? So that's why there's the augmented reality thing. So you go from a physical, you kind of cross that boundary and then into the digital, and that's always been a big part of it. Arlo says we're bringing streetwear to Web3 and Web3 to streetwear, and that's kind of how we see it. So, that wouldn't be possible without the tech that you guys build. So it's a really great partnership in that respect. And yeah, there was a question in Discord earlier about, it'd be cool if we had a print on demand service, right? Where I can take my NFT artwork and print it onto a shirt and have that, custom made for me. And I thought it was worth talking about that on the podcast. I mean, we started there. I mean, that was one of the first ideas we had, was like, yeah, let's, we even built it originally. We call it behind the counter, where you can go in and you can download your artwork from your NFTs. And we planned to build that. And then we quickly realized that you lose control over the product, right? Yeah. You're relying on, who knows, if you're in the UK, there's someone in the UK making it, in the States and in Asia Pacific. So you lose control over everything. And so we very quickly, and then also you're competing against these giant companies that do that, and that's all they do, doing massive volume. So you end up with no margin, and all of those sorts of things came into it. So we made a very clear decision and invested very heavily in building our own manufacturing pipeline. And we've got great factories now that we've worked with. We've been through a few in the early days to find the ones that we work with now, and they're super reliable. We're really happy with the way the products come through, and everything is custom. We don't print any blanks. We don't make blanks. We make everything cut and sew from scratch, and that's the reason why. So yeah, hopefully when you do finally get your merch, mate, you'll be able to see. I mean, you've had the onesie, so you've got a first-hand idea of how serious we are about that stuff. So
yeah, it's a great little party suit, that.
It certainly is. And it should only come out on Halloween. If you're watching at home and you've got the onesie, put that damn thing on, and don't just save it for once a year. It's too good.
I would like to point out that as we're talking about this, Trevor actually has in his background, you can see it's got the URL for the mint right now. You can go to futureverse.drx.store. We do encourage you to stick around because we're going to show you all the merch right here. We're going to take you behind the scenes, and we've got some things that you won't be able to see going to the store right now. And there is no urgency, although we encourage you to go out and get this stuff as quickly as you can. But this is not like it's a limited edition mint. They're not going to run out of supply. So there's no reason that you have to jump out of the podcast to go to the store right now. Although, you know, we will never turn down a transaction. So if you do go, if you want to have 2 windows open, or if you want to do one on a mobile device, then by all means. But we also think there'll be plenty of content here to keep your interest if you want to stick around.
There is a limited time on the community challenge, though.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Yes,
end of the month. Yeah, so
exactly right. But you can make it through the podcast before you do the community challenge. Everything you just said. We've got 2 weeks. Right? We're going to leave the digital mint open for 2 weeks. That's when you can get most of the perks associated with this drop. That's when you'll be able to get the free drug receipts hoodie, the digital wearable that's included with the purchase of any 3 items or more. That's only available through the 2 weeks that the digital mint is open. And that's as long as the community challenge will be open. After that, you will still be able to get the products, including the digital products, in our store at drx.store, but you will pay by credit card or fiat, and you will no longer be able to get the special bonus item or participate in the community challenge.
Before we get into it, because I'm looking at my little Backstage ER, and I've got about 50 images and a bunch of videos, and none of them are labeled. So hopefully I get the
really.
But
what do you mean they're not labeled? What do they look like?
You just get thumbnails. So
no,
don't have any file names. So anyway, we'll drag our way through that. But before we get into it, I do have the RVerse stuff, and I wanted to give Aaron an opportunity to kind of talk a little bit about it, because this is where it's all headed, right? Like, we're talking about the Party Bear Swappables interface and the ability to kind of dress a bear and pose it, and that's kind of fun. But I want to know a little bit more about and try and tap you while we've got you cornered in our little part of the world about the RVerse and where that's heading. Should I play the trailer and then we can get into that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I get this right. All right. Rolling.
Awesome. Super cool.
Very cool. And actually, that version of the RVerse environments is already way out of date. Like, if you saw the version we posted last week of Mystic Valley, you get a sense for the jump in quality of the environments. And I think we're aiming to post another one tomorrow to show again how that's leveled up, and you can compare directly from some of the previous stuff to this new version. So it's been team's been working super hard to kind of up the level again from what was actually pretty cool looking demo at Consensus earlier this year.
Yeah, and we have the Mystic Valley video also. We will play that in just a little bit, and everybody then can see the evolution that you've talked about.
Yeah.
One thing in particular,
big shift. We went from Unity into Unreal, and so the one that you just showed is a Unity version. And like we do, we make like everything kind of interoperable at our side. But getting the Unreal versions up and running has been really fascinating to see, the lift and the way things look and feel inside of there.
Well, so something that was highlighted in the version that we just watched, the AI generated content and the AI curator. I'm wondering about where the line is drawn between the elements that you can create, right, on demand, versus obviously the avatars are something that you come in with. And also we saw the panel where you could choose your wardrobe and things like that. So presumably those are kinds of two different qualities of things. How does that work?
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is provide as much interoperability as technology will allow us. So the base experience in RVerse is kind of like stepping into the white room in the Matrix. Like nothing exists and you can create everything. And the bit that I've become really excited about is how the team is gamifying that experience, and we're going to be showcasing some of that coming up in October. October is going to be a big month for the RVerse product release, and that experience combined with some gamification, I think, is going to be wild. I mean, people, I think, will really get into this, and that in itself could become a very popular game just because it's such a fun combination of generative AI and gaming. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. In terms of like avatars, you'll be able to create those. There are certain problems still to solve on that front because of rigging, but solutions are coming up very fast to solve those problems as well. And then if you think about like the next stage on in terms of interoperable wearables and stuff like that, that's what a lot of the work has been done on the wearables project, to provide a pipeline that makes it possible to take any kind of avatar shape and put it through the pipeline and then have it be compatible with any of the other wearables that have previously been created. So we will get to a point where you can prompt an avatar, and that avatar will be compatible with all the wearables that are compatible in the wearables system.
That's mind-blowing. That really is. Knowing now
what it takes to make it today.
What you have to do to rig an avatar and make it work, that in itself is an enormous amount of work. So the ability to be able to, have AI prompt it up and then it automatically works with everything is simply mind-blowing. And that is truly, I think, where the open metaverse kicks off, right? Where people can just express themselves freely and interact with each other in ways that, only limited by their imagination. Super exciting.
Yeah.
Well, and it shows you the difference a day makes in this environment where things are accelerating so quickly. I mean, when we first started focusing on digital wearables, right, the idea was, the promise was always you could use them on any avatar. We would create a wearable for every, but we thought that literally meant, we would have to wait, get the 3D model from each different property, create a new mesh or new model to go onto that. But now it is a completely different game, and completely streamlined, just by sheer virtue of the fact that the technology has accelerated so quickly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't exist until the team built it, but I think, it was on a space. Was it last night? Maybe no, night before. Talking about AI gaming with the Chibi Clash team, and someone on there we were talking about this problem, and someone mentioned that it was a combinatronic problem, which I fucking love, and I'm going to keep using that word. But as you said, if it's an n plus n scaling problem, each time you make a new one and there's a new avatar, then you've got to make another one, and then all of the ones that were made before that then also have to be made.
Right.
And so you can imagine what a problem that would be when people can literally print an avatar with their fingers, 100 times a day.
Yeah, I was thinking about this morning actually, because of I was kind of reflecting on all of the challenges that we had to overcome just to deliver merch in a sort of Web3 sense.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, people coming into this space, sort of from here on, or even 6 months from now and onwards, are just not going to understand at all, and have zero appreciation for the amount of
work
gone into rebuilding the internet, right? Like completely rebuilding the internet experience. And it made me think about what it would have been like back in sort of the early 2000s when Web 2, all of that sort of different layer of web technology was being built. I mean, they would have been going through a lot of the same sorts of things. And now I have a firsthand appreciation of it. And I'm incredibly grateful and humbled by the people that I find, that the chats that we have, the Slack channels, and the people that come into them and solve stuff. And you just think, holy shit, where did you come from? And, just incredible people everywhere you turn. And it's so exciting to be a part of that. But yeah, I don't think anyone's really going to appreciate it. They'll just come and go, this is what were all these Web3 guys talking about? This is really easy,
Yeah.
And it should be, right? That's the goal.
Yeah.
All the things that we used to joke about that people misunderstood about technology, it's actually now it's come to pass. Like, used to joke like people would say, press the enhance button or just enhance, right? And now all the things.
Now you can.
Now you can, exactly. Now they were right all along. Trevor, if you can see the avatar, let's go ahead and play the Mystic Valley trailer. And then I have another question, which we can get to after that.
Roll it.
Yeah, beautiful. You can definitely see the difference. That's pretty cool. But Aaron, so you talked about the white room, right? And the ability to basically create anything, but then also there are clearly going to be spaces that are already created for you to explore. Yeah. So how do you divide those things? What is the difference between the way those things interact?
Yeah, so 3 kinds of spaces. Mm-hmm. In ReadyVerse, you've got the white room, which we haven't revealed the name for yet, but we will. It's going to be fun. Then you've got Surreal Estate, which is kind of like H's Garage that we showcased a little bit earlier, and you'll get to see again in a whole new light. And that's more like a premium built space that you can own, or that maybe was built for a bit of IP or a brand experience. And those are fun. Like some of the stuff the team's been working on there, I think will blow people away in terms of how those spaces can reflect the IP in a very authentic way, and not fit into the mold of our metaverse. And I think one of the things that we've tried to do is make the ReadyVerse seem like you are really jumping between worlds. You're not going into, say, Roblox and everything feels like Roblox. You're going into your world and from your world to another world. And the extremes can get pretty cool. And then you've got strongholds, which is what that Mystic Valley is. And these are big communal spaces that could be completely open. They could be token gated for a specific community. They could be there for a specific time, like an event or something like that. But they're the big kind of community spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool when you start to think about it and the possibilities that they open up, right? Like you were talking about, a festival in Mystic Valley, right?
Yeah.
as a big community space. You know, I think it's really amazing to think about. I can only imagine, you know, we've got nearly every time zone now, I think, covered, right, Aaron, across the team. And so Futureverse never sleeps. It's the engine that doesn't go to bed. And you think about that and how it relates to an immersive environment, right? It'd be the festival that never ends. Burning Man that lasts forever, you know, and you just go in there whenever you need to and you know, check out for a little while on Burning Man, and it's always going. You know, it's fun.
Mystic Valley has kind of a burner vibe, not the desert, obviously, the opposite of it, but.
What is the opposite of Burning Man? Drowning Man? No, we won't.
It's kind of more like Kiwi Burn, which is like in the forest.
In the forest and often rains. Yeah, Jamie, our wonderful community manager, she knows all about those events. I've seen plenty of photos of Jamie looking amazing, and then from the knees down, it's muddy gumboots. And
the opposite of Burning Man, Trevor, is actually probably something closer to like a corporate conference. In a hotel somewhere. But since we're talking so much about Mystic Valley, you know, this is a Futureverse drop now. It's not exclusively a Fluff drop, but Fluff does feature in the collection, and particularly Mystic Valley. So I think that's a nice enough segue to let's go ahead and start showing some of this product. Okay. Trevor, if you can find the right avatars from your collection there, let's go ahead and start showing some of the wearables. Yeah, exactly.
This, and if I do this as well, I think that the viewers can get the. Hang on, no, I tell a lie. Pressed Shift 5. Does that work? No. Well, we're just going to have to talk because I wanted to try and show us alongside these images, but I can't make that work.
That's all right.
But the idea here is that each piece is a digital wearable, which will also be a swappable. You can put it onto a party bear immediately, and you can pose your party bear, take pictures, but see them wearing this new custom merch. We've got hoodies, we've got T-shirts, and there you can see the Mystic Valley scene featured on the T-shirt graphic. They've got woven labels on them, and what we're looking at are the digital wearables fit for the party bear model. These are all party bear shape. That's if you don't notice the distinctive shape there. But for every digital wearable that you're looking at, there is also a corresponding physical piece that you can, with each purchase of the digital wearable, you also get a claim to the physical garment. And so you will be able to wear this stuff. Your avatars will be able to wear it. And Trevor, if you can stay on this one for just a second, because it has the bunnies up graphic on it, which is cool. But this one is a V-neck, and it's different than the other shirts, which are all crew neck. And I point this out because it's somewhat novel for the party bears. That's cool. But the real reason that this shirt is different than the other T-shirts is because for the first time we made a women's cut T-shirt. So the physical version of this, the one that you can claim and that we will ship out to you and you can wear, it is actually, the T-shirt body is actually fit for the female form. And with drug receipts, we've never done that yet. We haven't made a T-shirt specifically to fit the female form. All of our shirts are unisex. But in this collection, it was something that we heard loud and clear in our focus groups. And when we talked to people from the Fluff community and around the ecosystem. And so we included in this drop a women's shaped T-shirt. And so this V-neck version in the digital silhouette is just kind of an acknowledgement of that. And because the party bears are unisex also, they're not, there was no reason to make a female shaped shirt in the digital form, but the V-neck just alludes to the fact that it is a different shirt body.
One of the fun things that we got to do during this was create new meshes. So, you know, the hoodie, for example, doesn't exist in the Party Bear collection. That's a new trait, if you like, that we created so that we could you know, have hoodies for these avatars. So it was really fun doing that, taking some creative license and getting to do some really cool new things with it. Likewise, I don't think the dad hat actually exists in the Party Bear traits, whereas the flat brim that we did for this one does.
Which I bought instantly.
Yeah, I think that was done specifically for you, mate.
I'm pretty sure it was actually.
and then of course the one non-black item which kind of became the hero, just due to the gregging of this drop and the unexpected curveballs that came out of the woodwork to keep derailing our momentum. This just felt like such an appropriate hero for the collection.
I'm literally playing with my party bear here as you're talking.
Cool. Well, you've got plenty of time because we're off camera for a little bit longer, but I think that's the end, if I'm reading this right, of the party bear versions, or the digital versions that people will receive. Arlo, we can dive into the actual mock-ups of the actual clothing now. So this is the physical merch that we're going to get.
Yeah, and Trevor, as you mentioned earlier in the open, so all these pieces are custom cut and sew. Even the t-shirts, they're all kind of like basics in terms of being classic styles. We've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got hats, but every item is custom made using our partners, our manufacturing partners. And you can see they've got nice special trim items like the woven labels down at the bottom. They've got the FutureVerse logo in the woven label. Some of these items have front and back prints. And although on the digital pieces, we didn't show you every angle, but whatever you see in the physical item is also on the digital one. So if it has a back print, you will also see that in the digital item, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's always been our promise, right? I remember, I don't know if Aaron, you remember, there was when the early sort of Web3 NFT focused projects started producing merch. Some of them got it horribly wrong, right? And there was heaps of FUD around some of those projects that just made a mess of their physical merch, probably using drop shipping.
And that was a big part of this process, right? Was like making sure that, well, you guys, make sure that you produce good quality stuff, and us making sure we had a partner that would produce good quality stuff. And even though people might think it's like, obvious that we'd partner with Drug Receipts on this since they're part of the family, we did actually go through a process to select, and the quality of the manufacturing process was a huge part of that, and you guys proved you could do it. So
yeah, we won't take it personally that we weren't your first choice, mate.
It wasn't. We hadn't made a choice.
we just fight our way to the top. No, the point is that we kind of, that's our value promise, is that what you see in the digital form represents what you get in the physical form, right? That may not always be the case, but certainly that's our goal, is to always try and deliver an experience where people feel like they're getting the same thing. What their avatar is wearing is what they're also getting in reality. Arlo, there's your bunnies up.
Yeah, here you can see what we were talking about, right? So this you can see the sleeves, the collar, the shape of the body. These are all cut with the female form in mind. So this is a unique body shape in our collections for us. But again, something that we produced in response to community input. So we're excited to have it in the collection.
I'm not sure if we've got the party bear wearing it, but we've got some poses here of, and it's been really cool to see some of this stuff happening organically. People grabbing their digitals, and as Aaron's doing right now, and maybe we'll share his screen or post it on X, but playing in that Swappables engine.
I just posted.
Oh, cool. So yeah, some of the poses that you can achieve, and I think the quality of what I was watching step by step as the team got this working, right? Like, was able to import our textures and the new meshes that we created and making them all work, and they've done such an incredible job. They look great. They work well, and we're really, really happy with the result. Yeah. Gunfinger. I think this one's Acro's favorite, or was it this one, Acro, that you loved? And we talked about some of the details. We do have one example of the one of the physicals that we got, we managed to get an image of one of the samples that came through. So just to highlight some of those little embellishments that you get to do when you're custom making things. So
exactly.
Internal FutureVerse tape, to make it all custom and branded, and it's FutureVerse merch. It's not, no blanks were harmed.
So, Trevor, there is a piece that we haven't shown yet. We've referenced it, and we will be giving one away later on in this broadcast. But I think now's as good a time as any to show it. So all of those were FutureVerse and Fluff branded products. But we thought that it was important also in this drop, or at the same time that those things were available to put onto a party bear, to also make sure that there was a drug receipts piece available to put on your party bear. I mean, after all, this is what we have been promising for our entire existence, is that you would be able to put your digital wearables onto your avatars. And so now that that technology is finally available to us, well, it's only appropriate that you are literally able to put your drug receipts wearable onto your avatar. So as soon as we were able to drop the FutureVerse collection, we made sure that we could include a drug receipts piece. And the way that you can get it, the only way that you can get it, besides winning it here today in the drawing that we're going to do a bit later, is by minting or purchasing at least 3 items through the store, which is available right there in Trevor's background, futureverse.drx.store. But when you get 3 items or more at that site, then you will automatically unlock the drug receipts digital wearable, and it will automatically show up into your Future Pass collection. And we will show you right now what that looks like. It's a piece from our drug receipt. Use it for the party bear. Trevor, if you have the still image, we can show them what it looks like when that garment has been reshaped, to fit on your party bear. And that's exactly what it looks like. And as we said, what's on the physical piece is also on the digital piece. And so you've got graphics on every side of this garment, on both sleeves. You can see there on the front breast and also on the back. And so when you get to see this on your party bear, it's going to be really killer and epic. As will all of the product. But we are excited and proud to have a drug receipts piece that you'll be able to put onto your party bear and model and pose with as well. So a nice little perk there for those of you that get in and get at least 3 pieces. And for the person that wins it today in our drawing, we will also take your information and send you a physical piece. So not only, this is not available with the bonus piece that you get from purchasing 3 items. That is only a digital offering. But in this case, in this one special case for the lucky winner today, you will get the physical piece along with the digital wearable, just like what Trevor's wearing right there, the physical hoodie.
The party bear while I do this.
Trevor, do you know any party bear poses?
Only the gun finger one.
Nice.
That's all you need for fashion. I'm just trying my my drug receipts on my party bear now.
Awesome.
We should have Aaron share his screen.
Yeah, you
can you do it?
Don't try and get me to do that.
Yeah,
I'll post it on X.
Okay, that's just as well. There is one other cool perk here that we'd like to point out, and it would be a huge disservice if we did not offer a receipt when you got your DRX drug receipts powered apparel and merch. So with every purchase here, with every transaction on the Root network, when you go to futureverse.drx.store and pick up your item, you will get a receipt, a digital receipt as proof of your transaction. That will also go straight to your Future Pass collection. In fact, all these pieces, as soon as you pick them up at the store, they will instantly go into your Future Pass collection. And you will also get the receipt, which I think we also have we can show you what that looks like.
Before I preface this, I've got to put a little disclaimer out there, because one of the little challenges that we decided not to let hold up Mint was the video files. So when you get these into your future pass, you'll see them as stills, but at some point we'll push an update and the video files will come through. So the revolving image of the hoodie that I'm sporting now, and then this one, which we're about to show, we'll create as videos. And I think, if I'm right, Acro, all of them will have a video element where if you've seen our NFTs before, we display in a revolving pattern so that you get a true sense of everything that you've got and how it is expected to look. So this is the receipt that you get with your transaction. And for the train spotters who have got this already in their future pass, they might see a few interesting details on the receipt. And for those who are paying close attention there, you'll notice the soundtrack that comes with the video file, which I love. It's like a coffee shop scene to give you that feeling that you're inside a coffee shop and you've just been given a receipt for your purchase. So very cool.
So one of the things, the question that we get the most probably, right, is about the quest. Is there a quest that goes along with this drop? Trevor, I think I'll let you and Aaron address that.
Well, I think Aaron kind of did right out of the gate, right? So so there isn't a quest, but there is definitely a community challenge, which is happening right now. So all of the people that have purchased so far have qualified for that community challenge. Is that right, Aaron?
Correct. Yeah.
Great.
So so there's no need to, I know some people out there are like, oh, I'm going to hold off and wait for the quest. You're holding off and waiting for nothing. So you might as well hit the button now, grab your community challenge reward, which is very generous. And we're very excited to have that as part of it. And, everywhere you turn on this drop, there's value. We've got a couple of other things to talk about. We're going to get to them. There's one or two little more bits of value, but one of them is a trait drop, which I wanted to kind of highlight. So, back when we first started all of this in the early days, when Fluffs first came into being and Web3 was really taking off, trait drops were a really big deal. And to me, they were a really important part of the culture of what we do. And so we wanted to bring that back in our own special way. It's certainly not a massive trait drop, but it is definitely a trait drop. So we made a promise to our one-of-one holders. If you have a one-of-one drug receipt, you get everything that we make. That's our promise to you. So you guys get a claim. If you hold the Celestial role in our Discord, which means you own at least 100 drug receipts NFTs, and we do have a few Celestials, and those are we're very grateful to our Celestial holders and hold them.
And Trevor, by the way, we just noticed that there is a one-of-one on available right now on OpenSea. Yeah. For the low price of half an ETH, you can, right?
The last one-of-one sold for 6 ETH, I think. So so 0.5 ETH for a one-of-one is a
really awesome.
Deal. And it's probably our personal favorites. I think most of us love what we call Red Devil Tabby, and she's on the market. So if you're in the market for a one-of-one, it's there. Go and snap it up. Snap it up before. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Snap it up. We'll give you your claim unless the current owner claims it first. Whoever gets there gets it. Also, our as I said, our Celestials get a free claim, and if you have a silver or gold for Fluff, you also qualify for a free claim. So we wanted to kind of, in the spirit of bringing the communities together and this being very much a collaborative effort, we wanted to reward the Fluffle as well as our holders. So if you've got a silver or gold Fluff, Celestial roll, or a one-of-one drug receipt, all you need to do is jump into our Discord, which is discord.gg/drug receipts, and open a ticket, talk to Jamie, and she will take care of it. You do have to validate that you own said NFT. So don't think that you can go in and share a screenshot and go, yeah, I got this one, give me my free thing. You do have to validate it. But here's the killer. You can pick anything. You get one item. You pick it. Whatever you want, we'll send it to you. You get one item from the collection, and that includes this one. So if you want the bonus tie-dye navy Travel Co hoodie, that is yours for the taking. So those lucky people out there that have those particular NFTs, you get something for nothing.
While supplies last, those navy hoodies we already have those in stock. So the everything else in the collection we are making. But that's the only caveat. We will get you something good.
One of the other questions that came up during the spaces we were on yesterday, and I probably didn't really talk it up too much.
I just bought that tabby if anyone was hoping.
Oh, no way. Nice score.
Sorry, not sorry.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I guess you can't wait.
Sorry, guys. So, Aaron, you can pick anything from the collection.
Yeah.
We'll send it over to you.
Just open up a ticket in the Discord and we'll take care of it.
So yeah, as I was saying, one of the questions that came up in the spaces I was on down the rabbit hole yesterday with Max Poker, shout out to those guys, was about the augmented reality component, because as we've already talked about on the podcast, yeah, we like to walk that line between the physical and the digital. That's our happy place. And so this collection will not be missed out, and we are definitely putting together, and we're in the works of doing the creative on that and getting our team to build out that experience at the moment. So by the time you get your hot little hands on our merch, there will be a FutureVerse inspired augmented reality experience that will be triggered by every item in the collection. And we're really excited to reveal that down the track. So you'll have to keep paying attention and see that. But Aaron, you've got a few of our bits and pieces now, so you probably have a play with our augmented reality stuff. Yeah,
totally. It's fun fashion. And I think as opposed to fast fashion, I think today you kind of across the board demonstrated how fashion can be fun, both the digital items that can be taken into experiences that you can use on your avatars, the extra little perks that you get with owning the physicals themselves being interactive. It's the funnest fashion out there.
Yeah. Well, we don't like to do things by halves. And if if you launch into the world calling yourself drug receipts, you better back that up. That's it's a pretty bold statement straight out of the gate, and we do our best to kind of make sure that when we get your attention, we keep it. So hopefully everybody out there is really loving what they're seeing and enjoying this merch and appreciates all the effort that's gone into delivering it, because it's been a labor of love for us. We're really, really happy to have it.
So Trevor, Aaron went through the mint process already. He said that it was smooth, a good experience. We've done it also ourselves behind the scenes. Do we still want to try and do a live mint walkthrough?
I think we have to, because one of the things I've learned about us is we're not great at keeping things for posterity. And I had to create a video of the Shopify experience and how it worked. And the only way I could do it was by grabbing footage from an old podcast.
Oh, really?
So okay. For that reason alone, I think we need to do this. But I am, here we go. I'll give it a go. Hopefully it works and we don't get Gregged on this one. So sharing screen. Here we go. So here's our beautiful interface that the team designed. I think this is
futureverse.drx.store is where we're at.
That's where we're at, futureverse.drx.store. You guys can see how what my root balance looks like. I would love to see a couple of zeros on the end of that, but it is what it is. I'm working on my future score and I'm getting the quests done and I'm doing my best to drive that number up. But here we go. So this is our lovely little e-commerce experience that we were really happy to bring. We wanted to have something fun that felt like a natural e-commerce experience, but also had a little bit of an element of fun to it. So you can see all of the products in here and you can just click on any product and it'll take you straight there. So I'm going to be saying cheap because I don't have a hell of a lot of root. What do we think? Maybe somebody in the comments can give me a, Jamie, are you paying attention to the comments? someone can comment what they want me to grab, and if we pick your comment, I'll send it to your wallet. You can have the digital. So pick something, and I'll send it to you. Hit me up, Jamie. Maybe Jamie can't hear me. Can I see the chat? I can't see the chat. Ah, that's what it is, the delay, that dreaded delay. All right, well, in the interest of keeping this thing flowing, NFT sales, they want a bench. Somebody says a cap. I'm going to go for a cap since we built this one in the spirit, especially for Aaron, because he's a dad cap guy. Is that right? No, it's the black one. Do that to you, mate. Okay, so I'm going to shout out to Atari God. This is coming your way.
Hey, Trevor. I will point out, we're looking at the hat, and that's one size fit all. But for anyone that's wondering, the sizing info is provided for each of these items. You can just use the drop down, and it'll show you size. It's provided in centimeters and inches. So we cover all continents. And we've got a brief description for each item. So everything that you want to know about the item, each item is there to help you make the most informed decision. And all the hoodies and t-shirts are available in small to XXX.
Yeah, great catch. And again, beautiful familiar e-commerce experience. So team did a great job.
Just reading here in the chat that apparently RDT has been known to frequent Auckland bars with shooting fireball. Fact that RDT's into fireball means it's my soul animal as well.
Yeah. It might have to be your PFP for a little while.
I might.
Okay, so into the cart, very familiar experience, and we can check out with Root, which is really cool. I'm so stoked that we're able to turn the native token into physical products. Really cool. As you all know by now, this is a pre-sale process. So everything that gets ordered, we will manufacture to order, and that's why there's a delay in the shipping, but that's pretty normal for streetwear. Oh, I've got to put my details in here. Maybe I'll just put some false details. I don't know if you guys can see all that, but you're now going to know where I live. We didn't think that through, did we? So phone number, this is my email address, and Atari, you need to email me at that email address, mate, and I will give you your cap, testing street, so that we know that this one isn't legit, test bill.
And I would like to point out on that second address line, this is a bug that we noticed that hasn't, as of when we launch, it hadn't been fixed yet. We are going to fix it, but it's seeing that as a required field right now. So it won't let you submit unless you put something in that second address line, even if you don't need to. So you can put anything in there, just put a dot, put NA. We will get that fixed, but for now, just know that might be something you encounter.
Yeah, I'm getting lots of FUD. Hang on. I knew it was coming. I knew I wouldn't get through a whole episode without it. I got to put my suit of armor on for this. All right, let me have it, team. Come on. Okay, so loaded up my cart, ready to go. Hit the mint button. I signed my contract just as you would expect. And drum roll, please. Then you're going to get to see everything that's in my bag as well. But I won't show you my bag because I think that's inappropriate. But as soon as the successful mint screen comes up like that, you can see that it wants me to add that to last. now you know I use LastPass as well. Successful mint, and I can go straight into my future pass and see my assets in there. And if I have a split party bear, I can go straight in and configure my party bear with my merch, as Aaron has done. And you are no doubt liking, commenting, and retweeting on X right now. So there you go. There is the mint experience. Really, really nice. Well done, team. Love it.
Great. Amazing. Smooth as advertised. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness. I know when the wheels started spinning, I'm like, please.
No, I mean,
infinite.
I think it was the whole thing was slick, and I keep coming across the caliber of experiences that the teams around Futureverse are building, and it always impresses me, having started so early in this space and seeing how shitty things used to be, and getting to this point now. It's really magic.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to see what's coming next. Right, that's the one of the most exciting things is everything you see. You know, sometimes I see the comments and the way the community embraces things, and there's almost starting to be this sense of you know, it's there, and then it's like a speed bump. You sort of go over it and you go, oh yeah, that was there, and then what's next, you know? And so it's nice to stop and take a moment and appreciate how impressive the stream of updates that keeps rolling out. You know, I read my weekly Futureverse update like everybody else, because that's the only way I can stay across. I don't know how you do it, mate, but that's the only way I can stay across everything that's going on at any given time. And so it's really wild to see all of these updates rolling out. And like you say, just the impressive people that are attracted to this business and are building in and around it. It's so cool.
So what do y'all say? You think we can give away a hoodie now?
Just before, I do have to mention something about our store. So we have made a promise that the Futureverse collection, and there'll be a few surprises coming, not any different products, but we've got a surprise coming when we update the store. But we're going through that process now. So if you are shopping on the drx.store, we are aware of a big bug. We've had to break everything to then go and fix it all. But because we have a lot of followers and community and people buying our merch that aren't Web3 people, you know, we've got Arlo's incredible following in the inline skating world, and we've got a bunch of retailers now that are retailing drug receipts clothing all over the world. So we have a lot of people hitting the store, but at the moment, all of the Web3 functions are pretty much broken because we're rolling out the update to merge them all onto the Root network. That will take us a minute, so please bear with us, but there is a known bug on the drx.store. If that is preventing you from transacting on our store, please create a ticket in Discord or reach out to us through our contact form, and we will take care of you on a case-by-case basis. But if you can wait, please bear with us while we fix that up. Yeah, that's it. I think we've got Jamie's Wheel of Low Stakes Misfortune to roll now. So recapping what that involves, the main We Are Minting Now tweet. So on X, the drug receipts page, you'll see something that looks more or less like the graphic behind me, and the primary tweet that we sent out a couple of hours ago when we launched the mint. You need to, is it a like, comment, and retweet or something, Jamie? I think the retweet's the key. You've got to do we still say retweet? What do we say? Re-X? If you re-X up, if you X it up, if you re-X, it's going to be 4X soon, and then it's going to take me right back to home. Oh, slipped an Aussie joke in. And if you retweet that post and you are in the chat now, so I can see there's nearly 400 of you beautiful people tuned into this stream right now. So there's 400 of you or near enough that are potentially able to win this. But if you have retweeted or re-X'd that tweet and you are not in the YouTube chat, you will miss out. And because there's a little bit of a delay, we will have to bear with it. So we're going to roll. Jamie's busy putting in all of your names and rolling the wheel. She's going to let me know when it comes in, and you will have 30 seconds. That's it. If you don't claim it within 30 seconds, we move on and we spin the wheel again. And you're going in the draw, as Arlo pointed out earlier, to win a digital version of the DRX Travel Co hoodie that I was wearing, this navy one. I'm trying to turn it in the right way again. But I'm also going to send you a real one. So if you win this, you'll get a digital one right now, and you'll get a real one in the post once you raise a ticket in our Discord. We're going to send that out to you. So we're going crazy. We're giving everything away. You win an NFT. You win an SFT. You win a physical. Everybody wins something. And I'm very much not like Oprah Winfrey. But I am desperately clamoring and mumbling and waffling on to give Jamie time to load up the Twitter picker and spin the wheel. While we wait, I do want to do one thing on a serious note. we talked a little bit about some of the challenges. Aaron, you're aware of some of them, but definitely not all of them. But this drop has not been without its challenges. That's a gross understatement. So I want to take a minute to just shout out to a few people who, without their input and without their support, this would not have happened. We'd be pushing it to 2025. And so obviously the core DRX team, Acro, Jamie, and our wonderful, the guy who will be making all of this stuff and sending it to you on the ground in Indonesia, Don, who none of this would happen without Don's support. So big shout out to the core team and our newest team member, and that will give you an indication of one of the challenges we face. Our newest team member, Golrav, who is our new developer who had to learn with the baptism of fire how to build on the Root network really fast, and he did an amazing job. And to say he burnt the midnight oil is a massive understatement. So a shout out to the DRX team and also the Futureverse team. Obviously, Aaron and Shara, we've already sung your praises earlier in the podcast. Massive thank you to you guys for giving us not only the opportunity but supporting it all the way through. And a special shout out to Juan, Rich, and Kyle, and the Lord of the Horde, who is in the chat here. Words cannot do justice to what Kyle has done for this particular project. Right in the middle of all of this, not only hasn't slept in like a month and a half, the dude moved countries and didn't drop the ball. Like, that is just amazing. He packed up his life here in New Zealand and moved to an entirely new country.
Incredible.
His family in the middle of all of this and didn't miss a day. It was just ridiculous. So Kyle, we're not worthy. I have a present for you here. When you're back in New Zealand, I can't wait to shake your hand, hand you a present, and buy you about 10 pints. Honestly, we couldn't have done it without you. Massive flowers for Kyle. And of course, the community. Everybody kind of rallied around this thing and made it happen. And it just reminds us what drives us to do this stuff, right? We put community in our brand pillars for a reason. And you guys are amazing and incredible people. And keep being yourselves. Keep turning up. Keep showing up. Keep supporting the people that are building on the Root network and building out this ecosystem, because you are the guys that are going to be the heroes at the end of the day when 5 years from now the ReadyVerse and all of the intricacies that come off that are common knowledge to everybody. It'll be you guys that were there at the early days.
Hopefully less than 5 years.
Well, at the rate it's going, 5 months probably. But yeah, shout out to all of you guys. All right, Jamie, have you got me a winner yet? Come on. Otherwise, I'm just going to scroll through and pick someone and hope that they've retweeted the post.
Also, Trevor, I noticed you didn't mention Jesse, but we wouldn't be on this YouTube stream without Jesse coming through at the last minute.
So, yeah, that's an interesting story we can tell, because our community loves Jessie. For those of you who don't know who Jessie is, she was our community manager for a long time and moved on. And about an hour ago, or an hour before this podcast started, we logged into Restream, and it's been a minute since we've done one of these. And so our YouTube had disconnected itself from our Restream, which is our broadcasting tool. And that was still in Jessie's name and under her account, so none of us could reconnect it. So we had to call Jessie and thank heavens that she answered her phone and dropped everything she was doing and jumped in and saved the day. So yeah, this broadcast is dedicated to Jessie, because without her, we'd be doing it in Discord probably to our community. But I do have a winner. And
all right,
they've got 30 seconds starting now. LordTaters.root. If you're in the house, show yourself in the comments. Lord Taters, you have your opportunity to pick this up. Is he there or her there or are they there or whatever pronoun you might happen to choose? If you're out there, LordTaters.root, your name came up. Do we have a winner? Oh, the anticipation, the excitement. I need some fanfare. What have I got? Do I have anything in here? Or something?
Just wait. Remember, there's a delay.
Yeah, there is a delay. Oh, where's Gen AI when I need her?
Okay, now they know.
All right.
Oh yeah, Lord Taters.
Lord Taters. And then and now they're going to know that we are waffling along in the background on a 30-second delay, trying to wait for them. Lord Taters. Yes, you need to comment in the chat if you win. Savvy Scott, it's me. I'm Lord Taters. No, I'm Lord Taters. No, I'm really Lord Taters. What is that movie that reminded me of? Yeah. Lord Taters. I think you might have to spin it again, Jamie. I don't think we have one. Yeah, I'm calling it. All right. While we find a winner, we'll wrap this thing up, and we'll stick around to make sure we draw one. But Captain, always a pleasure. You know how I feel about you. It's great to have you on the podcast again, and thank you so much to help us get through this. And we hope you love what we've done.
So far, amazing. Can't wait to get the real thing and start to rock it.
Yeah, Aaron, we thanked everyone who's been a part of this, who's made it possible, but none of this is possible without you and Shara creating this universe that we're all playing in. So thank you so much for all that you've done and for gracing us with your presence and being a part of this momentous occasion.
Shout out to my other founders, Marco and Dan, who really make it all work and never get any of the mentions.
Thanks,
everybody. Take care.
All right, mate. See you later.
Yeah.
Aaron mentioned Marco, who also, came in somehow miraculously at the 11th hour and tested everything and found those last couple of bugs that we had to fix. Marco is just that guy, right? Turns up and suddenly everything's under control. And Kyle was funny when Marco said, "Yep, looks good to me." Kyle said, "That's all the sign off I need. You're good to go, everybody." So the man had spoken. All right, so we have another winner. The next winner is Crypto Auntie. Are you in the house? If you're here, you win. Jamie's getting the FUD now. Jamie, put the shirt on, drink it up. It's a day to celebrate all of the FUD over all of the years that we've been getting. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Look, I think I'm going to call it and just say, Crypto Auntie, you win. If you are watching this podcast, if you jump into our Discord, you're our winner. Jump into the Discord and open a ticket, reach out to Jamie, and we will make sure that you get your prize. And thank you all very much for watching. Oh, I can see Bumblebee's in the chat. Oh, I love that little man out there, Bumblebee. Thank you so much. That Tato is one of my favorite PFPs, and I love it so much. It's now my ex-profile pic, and you are a legend, mate. I can't wait to shake your hand. I know I'm meeting you soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to tatify me. Tatoes for life. Thanks, Arlo. It's been a fun episode. It's been a momentous day, and let's end on a high. Crypto Auntie, you got the prize, and we'll see all you lovely people in the Discord. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye, everybody.